Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Black heart, black mind, black end. Again, hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. And I'm gonna try to make this message quick, but this is not it's not going to be a completely peaceful one, but it's the vitriol or the anger is not aimed at any of you in here. Not in my usual audience. When a woman is abused, she has a right to be ticked off at her abuser. She's not required to be a good sport about it and be okay with it. She has every right to be ticked off and exactly what people would refer to as butthurt. That's well within her right when she's truly abused. And there are many women that have been traumatized in many ways. You're going to hear me step outside, so pardon the wind noise. Understand this. The use of the term butthurt can be adequate. It can be correctly used. Because somebody can be, meaning they can be wrong and they still feel hurt, but they were wrong in the first place. That's okay. It's okay to call that person butthurt. But I also want to point something else out too, about the use of this term butthurt. Sometimes somebody does something wrong to you, and they're just plain old wrong and there's no getting around it. And you're not required to be patient with them or to be understanding with them when they were just plain flat out in the wrong from the very beginning, and it needs to be said. That's the way many of us black folks feel about white America and white Western Europe, and we're right for that. As a matter of fact, if anything, we don't hold enough of a grudge. And I think we need to start telling not only white folks, but even other POC that legitimize their civilization or their uncivilization and their ways and their worldview as something normal and wise and progressive and forward, that we don't forgive them either. I mean, we need to make them understand that, look, not only do we not need to forgive Massa and his crew, same ones that colonized you and your lands, we don't forgive you for legitimizing them. You see, when I was younger, one of the first grudges I had to understand was a grudge against, you could say, a childhood bully of mine. It was about middle school. And what I remember is how he behaved, of course. But as I got older, I began to realize that I was more so upset with the black sector of my hometown than I was with him. He was a jerk, could have been this way with anybody, really, as long as he wasn't physically afraid of him. He was one of those dudes, you know. But what I could not forgive was the nigritude. I'm sorry, not nigritude, but niggitude. The jigabosity, as I say in my Telegram group, the spear chuckleism, the Tarzan chaser imitation, if you will, of my people in that town that had all these moral standards because, you know, we wanted to be morally superior to white folks, wanted to be, but then abandoned them because he was popular. It wasn't really him that truly got my goat, got on my nerves. It wasn't him that really did. It was the rest of the black population of my hometown that did. Giving him a pass because he could sing and dance. He couldn't rap, actually he couldn't even sing. He was good at basketball and he could dance, so he had some entertainment value. Plus the women said, oh, he cute. It was that pass that he got that caused me to view the rest of my people as a traitor. As traitors. Now, when I told some people, when I said, if you are a friend of him and you know the way he behaved recently, then we ain't cool. I don't F with you like that. The term butthurt was not in use back then. But the idea was. The idea being that I just needed to change myself so that I could view the situation differently, as opposed to them needing to change themselves so that they could be more morally consistent and less hypocritical. Now we're seeing the same thing, because I'm going to tell you, I largely got this not even from dudes. To a certain extent, dudes somewhat understood if I would tell them. I remember this clearly. I could tell a guy one-on-one what I felt and why. They would get it. I remember that. I didn't get a chance when it came down to, when it finally came down to it, when it came down to the women, I didn't get that chance. Being interrupted, cut off, neck rolling, finger snapping, all that. Well, you just trying to be like, you just wish you could be like him and you jealous because you can't. And that sort of thing. This is not a unique experience. This is the black experience I'm pointing out. This is more specifically the black non-stereotypical experience I'm pointing out. If you are not the nigger, the jigaboo, the porch monkey, the spear chucker, the Tarzan chaser, this is what you get in our community. Are you just mad because you can't be like him? And in reality, I'm sorry, I got to speak louder because I got to put the phone where it won't be picked up by cameras. I'm not allowed to hold it anymore. In reality, you with the grudge are the one that is correct and right. And the ones trying to tell you to forgive it or that you're making too big a deal out of it are the ones that are wrong, telling you that you drew a line in the sand. I mean, they don't really care about you not liking them, or they don't care about you not effing with them, but you drew a line in the sand and you're the one that's too obsessed and you're the one with the problems. They are the ones actually that have the problems. They're the ones that are wrong. They're the ones that need to be told whatever the hell it is they don't want to hear. In the end, that's what it comes down to. And so when it comes down to it, after it's all said and done, and you want to talk about the liberation and the upliftment of our people to some of them, and I don't care if they're in their teens and they're going through that stage or that phase. We need to do away with that. But that's another topic for another day. What I do want to say is that forget about that stage and that phase. At the end of it all, if you are the thinking black man and you were under pressure to be the nigger, you go ahead and tell the rest of your people, tell the rest of our community that you're right and they're wrong. Because in all honesty, it's not, by me simply saying this and you hitting the share button, what's going to wind up happening is that you will see it will be more men that will say, we're out, we're gone. We're done with the bigger business. It won't be no one left in the end except the trifling women, which are very, very loud. The women that are too afraid to oppose them, who probably even outnumber them, but they're not as trifling at heart. They still are going to have to suffer the same consequences, whatever they may be. And the pre-selected dudes. There will be no one else left in the community. As it is, that's already shaping out. I'm simply saying, let's go ahead and accelerate the process since it's already there. Because in all honesty, we don't owe the community anything except a butt whooping and a war. I'm not going to lie about it. There's absolutely nothing else that we owe the community. A butt whooping and a war. I would dare to say sometimes even terrorism. But that's talking morally. Legally, you can't do that. So, when they start talking about, well, you just butthurt, I'm not saying you got to go and cuss them out. But what I am saying is that you have to understand that that's someone that you have to deal with a particular way, and that is largely through distance. But it also means that if you see them about to get themselves killed, you don't say a mumbling word to stop them. Let them do it. Whether they're from our own people or not. That's the type of person that you simply look at and say, okay, all right, you know what? Go on ahead. Actually, you don't even say that much. You just close your mouth and watch to make sure that they're actually gone so that you can plan the rest of your day or week or month free from that inconvenience of that nigga. Because butthurt and the whole attitude that some people are just butthurt is something that needs to go. Thanks for listening. Black Heart, Black Mind, Blackout. Assalamu alaikum. And black heterosexual non-select male power, thinking black male power, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.